Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नित्यनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and last time we discussed how Krishna, after he killed Dantavakra and Shalva, so then Balramji, he also departed for pilgrimage because he did not want to see the fight between Pandavas and Kauravas. But as Balramji was on pilgrimage, he went to Naimisharanya, and there when he had a conversation with sages, and before that, he saw that Romaharshan Suta, he was not showing proper respect. He was chosen as a chief speaker, but he was not humble. So Balramji, he became very angry. He killed him. And then on the request of the sages, Balramji, he stayed there, killed another demon, Balavala, and then he went for pilgrimage. And he went to so many places throughout Bharatvarsha and returned to Prabhas. There he heard that the battle of Kurukshetra was over. Pandavas and Kauravas, they had killed each other. Now the final battle between Bhima and Duryodhana was going on. So Balramji, he tried to stop that battle, but it was of no use. So Balramji again departed for pilgrimage, understanding it as the will of the Lord. He went to Naimisharanya and he has performed so many sacrifices. So that's what we discussed. So now in the 80th chapter, which is entitled Brahmana Sudama visits Lord Krishna in Dwaraka. So very, very famous pastime is now coming. So Parikshit Maharaj, after he heard all these wonderful pastimes of Balramji and Krishna, he thought that, oh, story is finished now. Oh, I want to hear more, O Shukdeva Goswami. Bhagavanyani chanyani mukundasya mahatmanaha viryanyananta viryasya shrotum ichhami te prabho. So Parikshit Maharaj, he has heard whole 10th canto now almost. But still, he's thinking, no, this should not end. Bhagavan, yani cha anyani mukundasya mahatmanaha. There are so many wonderful, valorous deeds which the Supreme Lord Mukunda has performed. Viryani ananta viryasya. Supreme Lord, his valor, his pastimes, his power, strength is unlimited. I want to hear. Shrotam Ichhami, I want to hear about them, O Shukdev Goswami. Please tell me more. So, in the last chapter, last verse, Falastuti, Shukdev Goswami had told that one who receives, who hears all these pastimes, he gets the mercy of the Lord. And what is that mercy? Mercy is he develops a taste for hearing more. So therefore, Shukdev Goswami, he has achieved the mercy of the Lord, and therefore he has such an intense taste for hearing Bhagavatam. Right from the beginning of the second canto, his mood has remained the same. He is so very eager to hear Krishna Katha. And he keeps encouraging Shukdev Goswami, please speak more. So Parikshit Maharaj is telling here, oh my Lord, the stories of Supreme Lord, they are unlimited. Please tell all of them to me. Ananta Viryani. So Shukdev Goswami tells, you will live only for 2-3 more days and you are telling me to tell all the pastimes. How is it possible? So Parikshit Maharaj tells, oh, you are Prabhu. You can give me enough lifespan to hear all these pastimes. You are capable of that. That is the eagerness of Shukdev Goswami. He is not bored or he is not tired. Okay, bahut ho gaya, abhi now we'll take a break. No. Eager, always eager. Kastripnuyat tirtha padobhidhana satreshu vasuribhiridyamana yat karnanadim purushasya yato bhava pradam geharatim chinatti. Who can be satisfied hearing Krishna Katha? Because this Krishna Katha, when enters the ear holes, yat karnanadim purushasya yato, what is the result? Bhava pradam geharati chinatti. The attachment for the family life, geharati, is destroyed. Chinatti. So that is the wonderful pastime of Krishna. When we hear submissively, then all the attachment goes away. The material attachments, they get destroyed. Therefore, Rupa Goswami is telling in the Nectar of Devotion that if you are still attached to your family members, please do not go to the bank of Keshi and look at the beautiful threefold bending form of Krishna who is playing his flute. Because if you see that form of Krishna, you will lose all your attachment for your family life. So that is called Vyajastiti. Actually, Rupa Goswami is telling you should go. That's what he means. But he's telling if you want to have attachment to your family members, do not practice spiritual life. Do not practice Krishna consciousness. Do not go to the bank of Keshi. And Shukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, because he is so very absorbed in Krishna, all his attachments are destroyed. He is only attached and attracted to hearing Krishna Katha. Who can be satisfied hearing Krishna Katha? Anybody who has developed attachment for Krishna, he is never satisfied. Ko no shutva astakrit brahman uttama shloka satkatha viramet visheshagyo vishanna kama marganai. So he's telling, Ko no shutva asakrit brahman. Who is that person after repeatedly hearing the transcendental topics of Uttama Shloka Satkatha, Vishanna, Viramet Visheshagyo. Anybody who has heard the pastimes of Krishna and he knows the essence of life, Visheshagyo, Vishanna Kama Marganai. He becomes disgusted with all the material sense gratification. All the sense gratification of the world becomes insignificant for a devotee who has tasted Krishna Katha, who has tasted the rasa of bhakti. So the problem is because we have many times so many other desires. So therefore, the taste for Hari Katha does not stay in our heart. Sometimes we experience the taste, sometimes we are attracted, and then it goes after some time. It is just like a vessel which has many holes. The mercy of the Lord does not stay there. So therefore, our heart is like a vessel in which we have to capture that mercy of the Lord which is flowing through the years. And the vessel is the vessel of humility and gratitude. So anybody who is humble and grateful, he can get the mercy of the Lord and he can hold that mercy of the Lord. Otherwise, mercy will come and one will not be able to get that mercy. So therefore, Chakravarti Thakur writes that we see that many persons, even after hearing these transcendental topics of the Lord, repeatedly they may hear, but still they give up all these spiritual practices. Why? Because they have not tasted this nectar. They were practicing on a superficial level. Anybody who has tasted even once, he will never leave. He can never leave Krishna consciousness. That's what Narad Muni is telling to Vyasadeva in the first canto. Navai jatu kathanchana brajen mukunda sevyanyavadanga samshritim smarana mukundangri upaguhanam puna vihatamichen narasa grahojana. Anybody who has tasted the rasa of bhakti can never leave. He will be reminded again and again by Krishna. So therefore, our only job is we have to develop that taste and hankering by being humble. Otherwise, people in the world, they keep hankering for pleasures of this world. Bhagavatam describes that it is so very astonishing that people in this world, they give up nectar and they are hankering for the poison. आश्चर्यमेतद्धि मनुष्यलोके सुधां परित्यज्य विषं पिबन्ति नामानि नारायणगोचराणि त्यक्त्वान्यवाचा कुहका पठन्ति. It is so very astonishing. Ascharyametadhi manushya-loke. People in this world, they give up nectar and they are drinking poison. What is that poison? Poison of all the material topics. Sudham parityajya visham pibanti. Namani narayana gocharani. Supreme Lord's pastimes, they are unlimited. Taktvanya vacha, anya vacha, taktva. Anybody who gives up these pastimes and hears the katha of this material world, politics, all the Bollywood, sports, whatever is going on. Kuhaka pathanti. These are all fallible topics. Why to waste our time? So then Parikshit Maharaj tells, "Oh, Shukdev Goswami, the speech of a person, the perfection of the speech is if it is used in the glorification of the Lord. If the tongue describes the glories of the Lord, that is success. Real hands are those hands which are working for the Lord. True mind is that mind which is always remembering the Lord. Actual ears are those ears which hear the glories of the Lord. Otherwise, Bhagavatam says, second canto, these holes, these ears, they are like holes in which snakes are living. Bile batoru krama vikraman ye na shanvati karna pute narasya. Bil ke saman hai jahan pe sarp rehta hai. Actual head is that which is bowing down in front of the Lord. Real eyes are those eyes which are taking darshan of the Lord. Otherwise, Barahaite nayane naranam lingani vishno nadidrikshavo ye. These eyes, they are like the eyes of a peacock feather. Actual limbs are those limbs which go to the holy places. So therefore, Shukdev Goswami, now Suta Goswami is coming in picture. The conversation is going on between Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami. So Suta Goswami is speaking that when Parikshit Maharaj, he expressed his desire, Shukdev Goswami, he became absorbed in meditation on the Supreme Lord and started describing the pastimes which happened after Krishna gave up all the weapons. After killing Dantavakra, Krishna returned and then he gave up weapons. He was staying in Dwarka. So one pastime happened. Shushdev Goswami is continuing. Krishnasyasit sakha kaschid brahmano brahmavittamah virakta indriyartheshu prashantatma jitendriyah. There was a certain friend of Brahmana friend of Krishna named Sudama. So Sudama name is not mentioned by Shukdev Goswami here. Brahmano Brahmavittamah, he was most learned in Vedic knowledge. Virakta Indriyartheshu, and he was completely detached from all the material sense gratification. Prashantatma, he was very satisfied. Jitendriya, and his senses were subdued. Yadrichayopapannena vartamano grihashrami tasya bharya kuchailasya shutashama cha tatha vidha. Whatever would come on its own accord. So this word yadrichayopapannena, yadrichaya, that comes many times in Bhagavatam. Whatever would come on its own accord, this Brahman Sudama, while staying in the household, he maintained himself. Vartamano grihashrami. He was satisfied with whatever coming on whatever was coming on his own. Therefore, as a result, what was happening? He was not getting enough food. He was very poverty stricken. Tasya bharya kuchailasya. This wife of that poorly dressed Brahmana. So Sudama also was having no sufficient clothes. All the clothes were old and torn, and similarly the wife was also in very bad shape. She was also not getting enough food. Shuddha shama cha tatha vidha. Shuddha shama. Because she was not getting enough food, and whatever little food she would get, she would give to her husband. Therefore, she was constantly troubled by hunger, emaciated from hunger. Shuddha shama. She was continuously suffering from hunger. But because this Brahmani, she was pativrata. Pativrata patim praha mlayana vadanena va daridram sidamana vai vepamana bhigamyacha. Pativrata. So she was a very chaste wife. So one day she went to her husband and spoke. Mlayata vadanenava, because she was very weak, very fatigued. Her face completely, it was dried up. Daridram sidamana vai, and because of distress, she was already poor, distressed. Vepamana, when when she went to her husband, she was trembling out of fear. Vepamana abhigamyacha. Why she was trembling? Because Sridhar Swami, he's telling that she was such a chaste wife. She was so very distressed because she was not able to feed her husband properly. And she was fearful because she knew that her husband, he is such a great devoted husband. He will never ask for anything other than devotion from the Supreme Lord. That's how the Supreme Lord, the devotees are so very chaste. They never ask anything apart from pure devotion. Of course, if we have some desires, we should ask the Lord. We cannot artificially imitate the level of the pure devotees. But this Brahmana, Sudama, he was such a pure devotee, he never asked anything. He was just satisfied with whatever was coming on his own accord. So therefore, this one day, this wife of Sudama, she could not bear such pain. So she went to Sudama and she is telling, Nanu Brahman Bhagavatah Sakha Saksha Shriyapati Brahmanyascha Sharanyascha Bhagavan Sattvatarshava. Nanu Brahman Bhagavatah, O Brahmana, isn't it true that Shriyapati, that the husband of goddess of fortune, He's your personal friend. Isn't it true? I have heard this. Brahmanyascha, Sharanyascha, and he is such a wonderful, great Lord. He's so very compassionate to the Brahmanas and anybody who comes in his shelter. He is Sattva-Tarshabha. He is greatest of the Yadavas, and he's the protector of his devotees. There's a nice, background conversation going on here. So wife, she goes to Sudama and tells, "Oh Brahmana, oh my lord, master of Lakshmi ji is your friend." Sudama, he tells, "But how can the Lord be a friend of somebody who is so poor? I am so very poor. He is a husband of Lakshmi." Wife tells, "No, because he loves Brahmanas. He is Brahmanyascha." So Sudama may say, "But I don't have the qualities of Brahmana." Out of humility, he may tell that. "I don't have the qualities of a Brahmana." Wife tells, "But he is Sharanyascha also. Even if you don't have the qualities of Brahmana, if you surrender to Krishna, he will show mercy." But Sudama may say, "I don't have any devotion also. How will I surrender? I don't have the quality of surrender." So wife tells, "He is Bhagavan. He knows everything. And for sure, he will be merciful. You just go and he will surely bestow mercy." Then Sudama may say, "But how will he give wealth to me? Because there are so many people who are already poor. They are suffering their sinful reactions. Why he will show mercy to me?" Wife says, "He is Sattva Tarshabha. He is a master of devotees." And then she tells very wonderful thing. She tells, even if he does not give, but the other devotees who are serving Krishna by fanning him and all the other acts, they will become merciful to you and they will give you something. So that's what she's telling. Please go and ask something. You are suffering. Our children are suffering. We are suffering. Tamupaihi mahabhaga sadhunam cha parayanam dasyati dravinam bhuri sidate te kutumbine tam upaihi mahabhaga. Oh Mahabhag, oh fortunate one, please once approach him. एक बार जाइए. Sadhunam cha parayanam. Arey, because he is a shelter of all the saintly personalities, why he will not show mercy to you? Please go and take shelter of him. Dasyati dravinam bhuri, for sure he will give you abundant wealth. You just go and ask once. Because just see, we are suffering so much, and why the Supreme Lord, who is Sattva Tarshabha, who is Sharanya, Brahmanya, why he will not show mercy to a suffering householder like you? So Sudama may tell, "Are Krishna, Lord Krishna is always traveling abroad. Sometimes he's in Indraprasth, sometimes he goes to all the other dynasties, sometimes to Bhoja, Andhaka, Indraprasth, Dwaraka, Mathura, Vrindavan. He keeps traveling. How do I know where is he now?" So wife, she is also very intelligent. She tells, no, we have heard that now he is a ruler of Vrishnis, Bhojas, and he's staying in Dwarka. He has given up all the weapons and he's constantly staying in Dwarka. You don't worry about that. You just go. You will find him in Dwarka only. And then Sudama may tell, "But I am embarrassed to ask. Why should I ask why should I ask something from him? He is my Supreme Lord. I have never asked any material thing from him." So wife tells, "Oh my Lord, he gives himself to a person who surrenders him, to who remembers him. He gives himself." अरे जो स्वयं को दे देते हैं केवल उनका स्मरण करने से, even without asking, नहीं भी मांगेंगे, "I am yours." If somebody tells, "I am yours, O my Lord," Krishna gives himself. So why he will not give some material thing if you go and ask him? Hare Krishna is giving himself even without asking to he is giving to his devotees. Why he will not give something material? So Chakravarti Thakur writes a very interesting point there. He says, he gives things which are not prayed for. If somebody just surrenders unto him, even if he just goes and remains silent and stands in front of him, Krishna, he is Antaryami. He understands and he gives whatever a devotee desires. भगवान के सामने खड़े होके नहीं भी मांगेंगे, still he will give abundant wealth, plenty of wealth. And along with that, he will give what he desires to give. That is a very interesting. When somebody approaches Krishna, Krishna fulfills the desire of a devotee, and then he will give what he wants to give. He will give his own lotus feet. Satyam dishatyarthitam arthito nrinam naivarthadoyat punararthitam yataha swayam vidhatte bhajatam anichyatam ichhapidhanam nijapad pallavam. It is true. Satyam arthitam arthito nrinam. Anybody who goes to Krishna and asks something from him, Krishna gives. But one special feature of Krishna is he gives in such a way that the devotee does not have any further desire to ask something material. How Krishna does that? Swayam vidhatte bhajatam anichyatam. He gives himself. If devotee said, no, I didn't ask for you. No, you have to take it. I give myself to my devotees. Aham bhakta paradhino. I am dependent on my devotees. If somebody surrenders to me, I become purchased by him. So that is how wonderful Krishna is. Jiva Goswami tells that just like a father, he gives the child out of affection whatever small things child is asking. Child asks sometimes for a toy or sometimes for some sweet. Father gives him. But when the child grows up, father gives him all the wealth, jewels, ornaments, entire treasuries for him. Similarly, when we are like toddlers in Krishna consciousness and devotion, we may ask for things of this world. But when we grow, become mature, Krishna will give his own lotus feet. He will give the highest treasure of the Goloka Vrindavan. That is the mercy of the Lord. So therefore, when Sudama was, again and again, his wife was pleading him. Sa evam bharyaya vipro bahusha prarthito muhu ayam hi paramo labho uttama shloka darshanam. So this is very, very important. Why Sudama went to Dwarka? Not for asking something material. Because his wife was pleading again and again, bahusho prarthita. Bahut bar prarthna karne ke paschat. What he thought? Ayam hi paramo labho uttama shloka darshanam. To see Lord Krishna is indeed the greatest achievement of life. So therefore, at least I will get to see the darshan of the Lord. That is the success. That will be the greatest happiness for me. So therefore I will go. He was not interested in asking something material. So therefore, he decided to go. But first he told his wife that, oh my good wife, is there anything in the home to give as a gift to my friend Krishna? Because whenever you are going, you should not go empty-handed. At least you should take something. So his wife, she went and begged few of the other homes, and she collected 4 palmfuls of flat rice, chipped rice. She tied that in a torn piece of cloth and gave it to Sudama. And then taking that flat rice, Sudama departed. All the while on the way to Dwarka, he was thinking, how will I be able to see Krishna? He was thinking, bewildered, because he was thinking, oh, Krishna is the Dwarkadhish. He'll be surrounded by so many of the guards, and the palace will be guarded by so many of the soldiers. How will I get entry into Dwarka and in the palace of Krishna? So these were the thoughts going on. In this way, Sudama reached Dwarka. And Sudama, when he reached Dwarka, he was assisted by some of the other three Brahmanas. They were also going. Some local Brahmanas, they were also going, and they passed through three guard stations. So they are called Gulma. So why this word is given? Because this Jiva Goswami describes in detail what is a Gulma. So he says Gulma is a battalion of the soldiers which has 45 foot soldiers, 9 elephants, 9 chariots, and 27 horses. And like that, 3 station guards were there surrounding every palace. So the Sudama, he passed through and he went into the inner chambers. Nobody else could enter these chambers. But because he was a Brahmana and a Vaishnava, therefore he was not stopped by anybody. That's the mercy of the Lord. Because he was such a great devotee. Anybody who is a Brahmana and a Vaishnava, he was never stopped. He could go straight inside. So, as Sudama is walking, he entered now into one of the palaces. And Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually he entered the palace of Rukmini Devi. And as he was on the gate of this palace of Rukmini, he stood silently thinking, it seems that everything is such a wonderful here. Everything is so very wonderful here. And he completely forgot all the pains and he was experiencing the spiritual bliss. Because throughout the journey, he underwent such struggles, walking through such a long distance. There were so many thorns in his legs, in his feet. He forgot all the pains and he was merged in Brahma Sukha, spiritual bliss. So then, as he entered this palace of Rukmini, Krishna was seated on his throne. As soon as he saw from a distance Sudama, immediately he got up from his throne and he ran towards Sudama. He was sitting on the bed of Rukmini there. Immediately he got up and started running towards Sudama and he embraced him. So Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually Krishna saw that Sudama was in the courtyard. So he ran out of the room and went in the courtyard and embraced Sudama. Generally, when somebody is in touch with the Supreme Lord, he feels ecstasy. But Shukdev Goswami tells that Supreme Lord felt such an intense ecstasy upon touching the body of Sudama, his friend. So that's how Lord is. Just like devotee experiences such a wonderful emotions and all the Ashta Sattvic Vikar appears in the body of a devotee. Lord is much more eager to take us back to the spiritual world. The story of Gopakumar. When he entered Golok Vrindavan, Krishna was waiting for him. Krishna ran and embraced him. Krishna is waiting for all of us in so many lifetimes. We are wandering in this material world and Krishna is waiting. When we will return, when we will turn our face towards him again, he is waiting. And he feels such ecstasy when he sees one living entity turning towards him. So Krishna started shedding tears out of love and affection. That is the glory of the Lord. He never leaves any living entity He's always there as Paramatma in everyone's heart, guiding all the living entities. And if somebody takes active interest in bhakti, Krishna becomes the active guide. For non-devotees, Paramatma is a neutral observer. For devotees, he is an active guide. Because Krishna is eager that, oh, my devotee should come to me. So Chakravarti Thakur writes that when Krishna saw Sudama, he remembered all the old days. Oh, he is my friend. We studied under the same teacher and we had so many friends, but he was my dearest friend. Priyasya. He was my dearest friend, and that's why Krishna, he had special love for Sudama. So then Krishna, he embraced Sudama, brought him inside, made him sit on the same bed on which he would sit. Personally, he offered him all the respects, welcomed him, personally washed his feet and sprinkled the water on his head. He smeared various fragrant substances on his body and worshipped him by incense, lamps, offered garland, and Rukmini Devi was standing and she understood that, oh, this personality is so very dear to my Lord. She took a charmer and she personally started fanning. Kuchailam malinam shyamam dvijam dhamani santatam devi paryacharam sakshat chamar vyajanena vai. Who was Sudama? Kuchailam malinam shyamam. He was a poor Brahmana, having all dirty clothes, torn. Dvijam dhamani santatam. He was so weak, so thin, that all the veins were visible all over the body. And who is doing chamar? Devi Parayacharam Sakshat. Sakshat Rukmini Devi. Sakshat Lakshmi Devi is doing chamar. Although it does not befit Lakshmi Devi to worship Brahmana, Sudama, but when she saw that my Lord is showing such love, such respect to this Brahmana, she started worshipping because that is affection, her affection for Brahmanas. It's like Lord is Brahmanyascha Saranyascha Namo Brahmanya Devaya. Rukmini Devi, she also started worshipping Brahmanas because of her affection. And then as these intimate dealings are going on between Krishna and Sudama, and Rukmini Devi is doing chamar, all the other members of the palace, they are getting bewildered. Kya ho raha hai? Antapura jano drishtva Krishne namala kirtina vismito abhudati pritya avadhutam sabhajitam. So all the people in the palace, they started guessing what is happening here. Who is this? Kaun hai? Lakshmi Devi is doing chamar and Krishna is washing his feet. He is like a avadhuta. He is like a shabbily dressed brahmana. And Krishna is giving such respect. Who is this personality? Vismita, they were astonished, completely astonished. They gathered and they started talking amongst each other. Kaun hai bhai ye? Who is this? Kya punya kiya hai? What punya he has done? Kim anena kritam punyam avadhutena bhikshuna shriyahinena lokesmin garhitena dhamena cha. Kim anena kritam, are what pious acts has this Brahmana has performed? Is avadhuta, is impoverished, unkempt Brahmana. Shriya hinena lokesmin, so very poor, lowly, contemptible Brahmana. Now, what punya he has done? Why? Who is worshipping him? Yoso triloka guruna Srinivasena sambhritaha paryankastham shriyam hitva pravishwakto grajo yatha. Supreme Lord, who is Triloka Guru, who is the supreme teacher of all the three planetary systems. Srinivasena Sambritam, who is the abode of goddess of fortune. Sambrita, what he is doing is Sambrita. He is serving him reverently. Who is he? He has made him sit on his own throne. Paryankam stam hitva. He is giving the position of Lakshmi Devi to this Brahmana. Who is he? As if he is worshipping him, as if he is his elder brother. Who is he? Everybody is astonished. So Shukdev Goswami tells that Krishna and Sudama, holding each other's hand, they started talking very lovingly. So Shukdev Goswami, he is telling that Chakravarti Thakur is telling that when Sudama came and Krishna, he started worshipping him such a wonderful way. He started thinking, I think Krishna is thinking me to be somebody else. That's why he is giving all this respect to me. Otherwise, I think he didn't understand. He didn't recognize me. He is thinking I am somebody else. That's why he is giving so much respect. So just to confirm, now Krishna is reminding all those past incidents. He's telling, do you remember, how we lived together after you offered Guru Dakshina? We were staying in the same Gurukul and you offered Guru Dakshina. Did you marry a respectable girl, a compatible girl? Chakravarti Thakur tells that because the rule is, there is a religious rule that if somebody goes out of the brahmachari ashram, he has to get married. Otherwise, there is a fault of not getting into ashram. So therefore, he is asking, did you get a compatible wife? But Sudama was not speaking anything. So out of embarrassment, he was not speaking. So Krishna tells, I know everything. I know that although you are engaged, involved in family affairs, but still you have no material attachments. You never take any pleasure in the material wealth. You have given up all your material propensities. And people in this world, although they give up, they have no material attractions and attachments, those who are great saintly personalities, still they perform all the religious duties to set an example for people in general. Yadyada acharati sreshta tattadeve tarojanaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvarte. So therefore now Krishna is reminding more. But do you remember that how we lived in our spiritual master's ashram, and how we were learning all the lessons from our guru? After somebody learns from the spiritual master, his spiritual life is guaranteed. Krishna tells there are three gurus of everyone. One is a person who gives physical birth, that is the first guru, the father. Second is one who gives Brahmanas initiation, Upanayan Sanskar. And the third guru is the one who gives transcendental knowledge. Out of these three gurus, the one who gives transcendental knowledge, he is as good as myself. Acharyam mam vijaniyam navamanyet karhichit. So therefore, the spiritual master should be considered non-different from the Supreme Lord. Sakshad haritvena samasta shastrai uktastatha bhavyate eva sadhi. Nanvartha kovida brahman varnashram vatamiha ye maya guruna vacha tarantagyo bhavarnavam. So Krishna is telling, certainly, O Brahmana, those who understand their own welfare, nanu anjasa kovida, artha kovida. Those who are artha kovida, those who know their own welfare, among all the followers of Varnashram, these people, they take advantage by surrendering to the spiritual master. Only by taking shelter of the spiritual master one can get the highest benefit in his life. Then Krishna tells, I am not satisfied by ritual worship. If somebody is following his Brahminical dharma, I am not so happy with him. I am not so happy if somebody is practicing his Varnashram dharma very nicely. I am not so happy if somebody is practicing even sannyas dharma nicely. I am not so happy if somebody takes diksha or takes even if he is absorbed in samadhi on my form, I am not so happy. Then how are you happy? He says, I am most satisfied if somebody serves his guru with faith and love. Therefore, we got a chance to serve spiritual master. It was such a wonderful past, so many wonderful days we spent together serving our spiritual master. And then Krishna tells, do you remember that incident? One day on the order of our the wife of Guru, we went to the forest to collect some wood for the sacrifice. And when we were in the forest, a great storm rose, started raining so heavily, we could not even differentiate between high and the low lands. It was flooding all over the place, and we could not, we lost our path, and we were wandering whole night, catching our hands. Chakravarti Thakur writes that they are telling Paribabhrama. Paribabhrama means Krishna is telling that we were, as we were wandering in the forest, catching hold of each other's hand, but we didn't give up our sticks, the wooden sticks which we had gathered for our master's fire sacrifice. So therefore, it is said that although they were in such a great difficulty, but they didn't leave the service. They continued to carry the sticks because that was a service which was given to them. While doing our services in our Krishna consciousness, so many problems may come, but services should never be given up. Services are the only wealth which we have in Krishna consciousness. Payayar Agyadhan Brajer Vaishnavagan Bandotara Mukhya Haridas Chaitanya Vilas Sindhu Kallo Lera Eka Bindu Tara Kana Kahe Krishnadas. So Kaviraj Goswami is telling, I have got the dhan of Agya. So the service which we get is the treasure. So therefore Krishna is telling, we didn't give up even our sticks. With one hand we were carrying sticks, other hand we were catching each other's hand. So therefore, so many problems were there, but still we continued our service. In this, the whole night passed by. Next day morning, Sandipani Muni, he understood that boys have not returned. So next day on sunrise, he sent some of the people to search, and then they found us. And Sandipani Muni, when he saw such dedication, he became so very happy and satisfied. Aho me putraka yuyam asmadarthe ati dukkhita atma vai praninam preshta tammana drityamatparah. Aho, hey putraka, O my sons, you have endured such difficulties to serve me, your guru. In this world, this body is the dearest for anybody, but you didn't care for your body. Therefore, I am so very happy. It says, indeed, it is duty of all the true disciples to repay their debt to their spiritual master. How to repay the debt? Although we can never repay the debt. Bhagavatam tells, anybody who tries to repay the debt, who thinks that I will repay the debt, he becomes Vinod Patra. He becomes a joker. We can never repay the debt to Srila Prabhupada, to our Guru Parampara, Acharya Viren. We can just show our gratitude by following their instructions. By reading Bhagavatam, by reading Chaitanya Charitamrit, at least we can show our gratitude. Srila Prabhupada, he spent nights writing these books. At least we should read them every day. By serving Srila Prabhupada and assisting in his mission, we can at least show our gratitude. So Sandipani Muni is telling that one can at least try to repay the debt by offering with pure heart whatever wealth they can. Pranair arthair dhiya vacha etava janma safalyam dehinamiha dehishu pranair arthair dhiya vacha shreya acharanam sada. The success of life is to give everything for service of Krishna. Pran de do. No, prana, we cannot give life. Arthair, give wealth. That's also too much. Use your intelligence. No, I don't have intelligence. At least speak something. So do something. Whatever is in our capacity, do it. Give it for the service of the spiritual master. Because when we serve the spiritual master, then whatever we are hearing, it will transform into realization. Otherwise, parrots are also very expert in memorizing things. We are not here to do parrot-like chanting. We are here to realize Krishna. That realization will come when we serve devotees. Yat sevaya bhagavata kutasthasya madhudvisha ratiraso bhavet tivra padayor vyasanardanaha. Vidushji is telling to Maitreya Rishi, O Maitreya Rishi, you have given me such wonderful knowledge, but that knowledge will become realization when I will serve you. So by serving devotees, by serving spiritual master, our knowledge will become realization. Otherwise, we may get all the information, we may memorize all the pastimes, but those pastimes will stay in the head only. They will not transform our heart if we don't serve the devotees. So therefore, Sandipani Muni is so very pleased and he blesses them. Tushtoham bhoduja sreshtha satya santu manoratha chandamsi ayat yamani bhavantyah paratracha. Very wonderful blessing Sandipani Muni is giving. Tushto aham, I am satisfied with both of you. O Brahmanas, O best of the Brahmanas, I am very satisfied with you. Satya santu manoratha. May all your desires be fulfilled. Chandamsi ayat yamani. Another benediction. First benediction he gave, may all your desires be fulfilled. And then he said, may all the Vedic mantras may always remain fresh in your mind. Yatayama, Yatayam, we know Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yatayamam gatarasam. The food which is prepared more than 3 hours before, it is considered to be in the mode of ignorance. It loses its taste. So, Hridayan Maharaj writes in the purport there that a devotee who does not remain fixed in Krishna consciousness, by serving the devotees of the Lord, by reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, all the scriptures every day, the transcendental knowledge will lose its taste. It will become tasteless if we are not serving. If we are not reading every day, and if we are not applying that knowledge, the knowledge will lose its taste. It will become stale. It will not be so much attractive and juicy. So that is very, very important. To study and to practice by serving devotees. And therefore, mercy of the devotees is very, very crucial. And to get the mercy, we have to serve them. So therefore, Krishna, in this way, he was telling that in this way, we had so many experiences. So Sudama, do you remember? And by the grace of Guru, one can fulfill all the purposes of his life. So Sudama, Brahman, after hearing all this, He glorifies the Lord. Kimasmabhiranivrittam deva deva jagadguru bhavata satyashtamena yesham vaso gurorabhut. Kim asmabhir anirvrittam. O Supreme Lord, Deva Deva Jagat Guru, O Supreme Lord of all the worlds, what could I have possibly failed to achieve? Because I got a chance to be with you in Gurukul. So what else was remaining to achieve, O my Lord? All the desires were fulfilled. By being in association with you, all my desires were fulfilled. I was able to live personally with you. So therefore, Sudama is reminding his extraordinary fortune. What fortune I had! I got to be with the Supreme Lord. The sages, great rishis, they're hankering to have a darshan of the tip of the toe. And I was there with you, O my Lord, for so many years, so many days. Therefore, he's expressing his gratitude. He's saying, you are the supreme absolute truth. And you don't have to do all those, you didn't have to do all those pastimes. You are Jagat Guru, but you perform so many pastimes just to set right standards for people in general. So that is the end of this chapter. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai.